Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone joining us from across the United States and around the world. On behalf of the entire AI Certs team, I'd like to warmly welcome you to today's session when enterprise AI training deals. Why Certs beat unproven training in 2026. We are excited to see professionals from sales, partnerships, learning and development, and business leadership joining us today. AI training is no longer just about the content delivery, it's about credibility, outcomes, and the enterprise trust. In 2026, organizations are investing heavily in AI upskilling, but they are becoming far more selective about who they partner with. Today's discussion will focus on how training providers and partners can win enterprise AI deals by leading with recognized certifications instead of unproven programs. Before we begin, just a few quick notes. The session is being recorded and the recording will be shared with all the participants after the session. You are encouraged to ask questions anytime using the Q&A box or the chat box and we'll have a dedicated Q&A segment towards the end. Please stay until the end. We'll be sharing key resources and next steps for those interested in partnerships, certifications and enterprise opportunities. Moving on, it's my pleasure to introduce today's speaker, Mr. Bill Becker. Bill serves as the Vice President of Strategic Partnerships for North America at AI Search, where he works closely with the organizations to help them build scalable AI driven revenue opportunities through certification ecosystems, enterprise partnerships, and go to market collaboration. He is also a long term writer and speaker on careers and innovation, and the author of two insightful books: The Job Nobody Dreams of, Inside the Greatest Career You Have Never Heard of. And second, Create Your Own Job, an innovative strategy for job applicants. Bill brings a unique perspective that sits at the intersection of technology, workforce development, and business growth, making him the perfect person to guide today's conversation on why enterprise buyers in 2026 trust certifications over unvalidated training programs and how you can position yourself to win those deals. Bill, we are thrilled to have you with us today. And before a further ado, I would like to hand over the stage to you.
Thanks. Boy, that's a great introduction. No stress on my part to live up to that. So I appreciate everyone taking time to spend with us today. It's a unique opportunity, regardless of what you sell today. You know, we have traditional IT training partners in medical, different finance, and even solopreneurs that are consultants that are joining us and have joined us in the past and became partners. So this is an exciting time in business. And so today we're going to share a little bit more about, why you should, go down that path with us. So we always share some stats and everything. I think everyone understands that you can't escape this AI thing, right? I always joke, you can't go 5 minutes and not hear those two letters. So it is real. Sometimes it's annoying, but there's an incredible opportunity for individuals and businesses out there that have already, have built up over the last couple of years or maybe, several decades, this database of customers that have already spent money with you. They know you, they trust you. Every single one of them, whether they want to or not, is thinking about this AI thing. And so there's an opportunity, and there's also all kinds of resources out there to take advantage of that opportunity. But we think we have the best opportunity, and I'm going to share why today. So again, it's a unique time, right? So when I talk to traditional IT training companies, that my famous story is talk about SQL classes and you make big bucks when virtually the entire world has never heard of SQL or knows what it is, right? I think we all agree the entire world knows about AI. And there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of anxiety out there. And, some of the stuff that we're doing helps. You can go to your customers and be heroes to them because, this anxiety, this fear, is it taking away, jobs? We all see the headlines, right? 10,000 people laid off, 16,000 people laid off in the name of AI. I think everyone's starting to understand those are lies. The layoffs, unfortunately, are real, but the reason that AI cannot replace citywide, groups of people today. But they're doing that, either to appease Wall Street or sending jobs overseas. AI is coming for tasks, and that's a good thing. And that's why I thought, what AI Certs is doing was so great when I joined last year is AI Certs courses don't train on AI. They train on how AI impacts specific job roles with a certification. And why is that important? Because you all know that you can learn anything you want for free on the internet. So if you're going to go out and teach yourself this AI stuff, what would you do? You would probably, hopefully, go look at case studies in your industry. And if you're smart, go look at case studies in other industries, right? Because if you're in manufacturing and you read a case study over in medical or retail or construction, you go, okay, that's how they're using AI over here. This is how I would do that here. So then what would you do next? You would go research AI tools for your specific job role. And there's a whole bunch of them. And there's more every day. So you would go and play around with a little bit. So you are legit AI ready. Prove it. That's where the certification comes in. That was, the beauty of, what AI Certs did. Yeah. We consider ourselves a certification org that provides training through our partners. So everything starts with the certification development. There's a lot of research, there's a lot of job task analysis, boring stuff, but it creates a legit proctored exam. And from that comes the course. Every course has an e-learning version and an instructor-led version. Today, there's 73 courses. We'll have 200-ish by the end of the year. So kind of some background there on why we're different. I'll go a little bit more into that later. But so all to say, the opportunity is everyone's looking at it. Companies, big, small, medium, they're looking at, how do we incorporate AI? How do we get our staff AI ready? Government is certainly doing that. And there's some exciting opportunities out there. Just for an example, I know Texas and New York, Colorado has initiatives. Texas, I think, is one of the more unique ones because they had a law go into effect September 1st of last year. All public employees need to be trained on AI. How awesome is that when you have a government entity saying that people have to spend money on AI training? That's not really happened in the past before, right? And then, I know we have some international attendees today that Italy, I actually work with the Italian National AI Association. They are tasked with rolling out the Italian AI initiative. So we all know that companies are looking at this, but also there's great opportunities on state, local to some extent, but state and national governments have some great opportunities for AI training. Associations, we work with a lot of associations, just got off a meeting. They have members who, again, everybody in that association is thinking about AI. How do I get AI ready? And it doesn't matter whether it's, a technical like IAMS ACP, one of our partners, or International Institute for Internal Auditors, or any type of association. They have members who are looking. We also have done some co-developing. So if you're an association out there, we would love to talk to you about possibly doing a co-develop, co-branding certification. And even with that, there's also opportunities to sell into association members. So associations are very exciting because there's so many different things you can do there. And then, of course, academia, that there's, you go to college to get ready for a job, right? And so there's opportunities there to help put courses into the curriculum, which, is kind of a longer term play, but certainly, once you have that just pays off not every year, every semester, right? We have other academic partners that put the courses on top of their curriculum. There's two other things, from an academia play, the alumni, right? Every single person that attended, that particular, university or college, they're thinking about AI. So they have that. And then, of course, something that we've seen more and more is the adult education, continuing education division of colleges and universities, that they're looking to bring in AI training to their offerings. So I get a little parched in a while. So another slide, just that there's a need, there's a lack of training out there. And so everyone's looking for reasons to, what's the best opportunity? How can I get my workforce ready? So again, another, and for those that, are listening to the recording later on, you get to read these slides, but it's a unique time, right? Go back to the SQL example. One or two people, maybe in a corporation, that needed the training. Everyone in a corporation, at the very least, needs AI literacy, right? And we'll go into this a little bit more, but you have that, then you have the role-specific courses, and then you have the executives. So workforce, the rank and file employees, they have AI anxiety. Is it going to take my job? How do I get AI ready to protect my job or get a better job? The executives are going, what are we going to do about this AI thing? We got to get this figured out. Smart executives, they already realize that AI is in their company, whether they approved it or not. People using ChatGPT or whatever. So, and one of the big entry points, this I'm going to give you the sales lead here. What we have found, our partners have found, it makes a lot of sense, right? This is not like breaking news here, but one of the biggest entry points into exec enterprise training is HR. And when you can go to HR directors, because they got tons of anxiety, right? They got the workforce below them, they got the executives above them, they got this big light shining on them. We know training is a big part of AI adoption. It's not the only thing, but in a huge portion of companies, HR is tasked on the AI adoption and training. IT is obviously another entry point, and they're going to have some say. Hopefully, they have some say as far as the adoption and the acceptable use policies and stuff. So, all to say, again, everyone in a company is a legit prospect for AI training, and that's exciting. So, when you're talking about, okay, we want to, provide AI training, we can just build it internally. Yeah, you can, but that's a pain, right? And so you put this together. Who recognizes it? How do you keep it update? Our courses, regardless how you take it, instructor-led or e-learning, the student gets access for a year. And because it's AI, it's probably change at some point, right? So every quarter, we look at the courses, and if something gets updated, the student gets an email and say, hey, Bob, we added another case study, or, we put in another tool that we think you ought to take a look at. The other thing too, and again, I'll show you some other things later, but it's not just one way to learn, right? We say multimodality. So you can watch, you can read, you can listen to each lesson. There's also an AI mentor for each course. We have a worldwide audience today. So it's not just like everything's great. This course is amazing. It's not just available in English. Every course is available in Spanish. We also have pockets of other languages, Mandarin, French, German. We are waiting for partners to come to us and say, hey, Bill, got 150 people for AI Plus Executive in Portuguese. We want to do that. And even if you're just based here in, the US and North America, it's a worldwide economy, right? So you probably have customers around the world. And so having, a training offering that can be set out in different languages is a huge plus. The other thing too is, all right, great, there's an exam here, but what about the exam? We follow international ISO standards in building our exams. We're weeks away from, blessing from ANAB ANSI accreditation. I know our general manager, when he talks about us building exams, we have people that, that work for AI Certs, but we also bring subject matter experts in to help us put together courses, validate the course, validate the exam. So there's a lot of time and effort and money that involve that. Why would you do that? Why would you do that on your own? Even if you did it, then, to maintain that is just you do what you do best and go out and sell to your customers. Let us do all that stuff on the back end. The other thing too is, if it's not good, and you talk to an enterprise customer and some people get some bad They go, this course wasn't that great. Then you've lost him. There's a trust factor here. There's a big fear factor here. So again, let me talk about this anxiety out there. So executives know that they got to do something about this AI thing, right? In business to business sales, which I've done my entire career, companies, they don't care about your features and your benefits and the bells and the whistles and stuff like that. They need peace of mind when they make a purchasing decision. And what do I mean by that? So if you go out and you buy the wrong TV, you're out, a few $100s, a couple $1,000, right? Not that big a deal. You make the wrong purchasing decision for your company, it could impact your career. And because there's such a huge spotlight on this, people need that peace of mind that they're making the right decision. And that's kind of where everything comes in of what we do is you can become a hero to their client, your clients, your client contact can become a hero within the company. And this is all about peace of mind. Everyone knows, we got to do something with this AI thing. The other great opportunity that's going on, not only is it just every company is going to need AI training, this is not a one-off. For those of you who are old enough to remember the year 2000 bug nonsense, that was a 2-year push. Everyone freaked out, kind of a nothing burger. This is not, hey, everyone's going to get trained on AI in 2026 and we can move on to the next thing. No, you're going to adopt AI and then you're going to adapt it as a company. So there's going to be ongoing training opportunities. Again, it's like an annuity, right? It's not just a one-time sale into a company or association or whatever. This is going to give you opportunity to continually make money, either through e-learning sales or delivering instructor-led courses. So again, talked about the difference of why having a certification tied to role specific. Again, that's the huge difference here. Not learning how to a specific technology. We in the beginning we said we were vendor agnostic. Now we say vendor neutral because there's other AI courses out there, right? Amazon has them, Microsoft, but those are all tied to their technology. Our courses are tied to roles. Big, important difference. So I think we talked about why, doing it yourself, building this, not the great use of your time or your resources. Today we have, well over 100,000 learners. We have an instructor pool, a bench, if you will, of 500 instructors around the world. So let's talk about the instructor-led training real quick. So there's 3 ways as a partner that you can do instructor-led training. You sell it and you deliver it yourself. There is no cost to become a certified instructor. You simply do the course and the exam for free. And then once you do that, we have a training team that has tons of resources. We provide the PowerPoint decks for the courses. We have lecture notes where there is an AI mentor for every learner in each course. There's an AI mentor for each course for trainers. That most of the executives and higher ups in this company came from the traditional IT training business where instructor-led training was a big deal. So all that knowledge and experience and institutional knowledge went into building this just incredible program for instructor-led training. Like I said, 70 courses, 73 today. We'll be at 200-ish by the end of the year. And you know what? There's not a list up on the wall of those, other 130 courses. There kind of is. We know some things that we're going to do. There's going to be an AI plus insurance, but smart companies roll out stuff based on market needs. So when partners come to us and say, hey, Bill, here's a great opportunity here, we want to have those conversations. I was in a meeting earlier today, and it made a lot of sense to have a conversation about AI plus construction, right? And we have partners all over the world. There are no exclusivities that, if you become a partner, you can sell to anyone, any place in the world. Also, what's unique is, when you sign up, I manage you, and I have been finding, unique ways for our partners to work together. So, because think about this, in the end, we're partner centric. We don't make money. unless our partners do. Can someone go to our website and buy a single course? Yeah, that not a big deal. But they can't get special bundle pricing. They can't get our unlimited e-learning subscription. They cannot go to our website and get instructor-led training. So there's multiple reasons to become a partner and get all the benefits. I mentioned we had a trainer portal. We also have a partner portal, which we'll show you here in a little bit, but that's where we have over 600 sales and marketing resources to help promote the courses. So we love to do co-branded webinars with partners. Again, you do what you do best. You've built up this database of people and customers over the years. We're going to help you monetize that. And that's why you should, seriously think about, at the very least, you need to talk to me and let's talk about ways that we can work together. So again, everything is in one place. So for those of you that are, used to traditional IT certifications where you pay for a course, then you go buy an exam voucher and possibly go someplace else to take the exam, everything is self-contained. The exams are built into the course. And there's a free retake, so you actually get 2 shots per course. So you have all that there, all the sales and marketing. Within our partner portal, you have all of that. So course outlines, executive summaries. Executive summaries, I always like to say, are kind of course outlines on steroids. We have little 5-minute podcasts on each course, why someone should enroll. Amazing social media kits set for different languages, different parts of the world. Again, so even if you're based in North America, but you have potential, candidates in LATAM or in Asia, we have the marketing materials. You don't have to worry about that. So we try to think of everything, because again, our interests are aligned, right? When our partners make money, we make money. So here's a slide that I need to update because we're over 70 certifications now, but they're kind of 2 areas, right? They're either 1-day instructor-led or 5-day instructor-led. 1 day or 6-8 hours e-learning. The 5-day is 40-hour e-learning. The 1 day are what we call professional. So those are the traditional role-specific courses, marketing, finance, legal, sales. The 5-day, mostly technical, but not all. And we're kind of moving away from calling those technical. We're going to call them mastery. And the reason for that is, so a lot of the 5-day are, development, cybersecurity, but we also have a 5-day project management class coming up. We still have the 1 day, but we're going to have a 5-day. So just to give you in a kind of a visual idea, you don't have to think, oh, well, is this 2-day, 3-day? Most of the role-specific courses are 1 day, 6-8 hours e-learning. The technical or the more involved role-specific ones are 5-day, 40-hour e-learning. And I promised, a quick look at our UI because I think this is a huge selling point. This is what puts us, apart from everything else. I mentioned multimodality. So, and the instructor-led and the e-learning version, virtually the same. And the reason I say that, so if you take a 1-day course and you have access for a year, for the next 364 days, the student has the exact same stuff as the people who bought the e-learning course. So you have the video lecture, you have the ebook, so you can watch or you can read. If you're like me, I watch the videos with the closed captioning on. And what's unique, and every day I hear someone else doing this, you can actually speed up the video if you're able to comprehend better. I thought that was just like a one-off, but I hear more and more people can. So it's just a unique thing that is built in. We also have 2 audio options for the traditional audio book and then podcasts. Podcasts are so popular. People that are listening to lessons on their phone while they're working out, walking the dog, doing laundry. I would say that's probably the most popular way to consume the content today. So you see there on the right-hand side, every single activity, you have 4 different options to consume that content. And then on top of that, you look on the left-hand side is the AI mentor. So think of the AI mentor as a teaching assistant or a homework helper. So multimodality, multi-device, your computer, your tablet, your phone. You can actually do the stuff, the lessons on your phone, just log in. But we also have an app. It's been downloaded close to, 750,000 times. So again, lots of different ways to consume the content, different devices. That's another huge selling point. It's not just a video you have to watch for everything. And on the right-hand side, as you go through each activity, you'll see each module. There's going to be some, quizzes there to check, hey, did you get this? Are you sure you're good on this module? And at the bottom is where, you can click and you can start the exam. It'll pop up. It'll, watch your eyes. It is proctored. And like I said, something happens, you get a second shot. And heaven forbid, because it's somebody always asked that, if someone needed a third time, they can buy, a third exam attempt. So kind of talked a little bit about, three of these. There's four ways to partner with us. The first three is what I call a full partnership. First is an authorized training partner. Those from your traditional IT training companies down to I have many what I call solopreneurs, right? These are people that over the course of their career have built up a database of people that they know that trust them, and they're all thinking about AI, and they want to monetize the relationships they had. So, and it's also medical training companies, financial training companies, any type of training, manufacturing. If you're you're a training organization that targets manufacturing, again, every one of your manufacturing clients are thinking about AI. Manufacturing is actually another certification that we're going to be coming out here, over the next few months. So authorized training partner, basically just any type of, training or individual. The academic, I think it's kind of, everyone gets that, college or university. And again, multiple ways for academic partners that, you put it inside the curriculum, you put it on top of the curriculum, you market to your alumni. And if you have a adult continuing education division, that's the first place you start, right? That's the easiest money. Third way, we talked about associations. We love associations. There's so many different things you can do there, including co-branding. You don't have to do that. If it's just, those are for large, usually international associations, but every association has members that they're looking, and we can help work as far as rolling out specific courses, bundles that make sense for that membership, and put together a specific go-to-market campaign for association partners. I'm working on several of those right now. And so those first three are what I call full partners, meaning that you can sell and deliver the instructor-led training. In fact, I think I left off something there when I talked about that earlier. Three ways instructor-led training can go. You can sell it and deliver it yourself, as I mentioned earlier, and you or one of your employees becomes the certified instructor, no cost. You can sell into another partner's class and you simply split the revenue 50-50. Although I do have one partner that gives the other side 60%. And that's good if you had just one or two people that need a course. The third option is if you have a group of people, you have 5, 10, 15 people that want a course and you don't have a certified trainer, rent one from that bench I talked about earlier and keep all the revenue. And certified trainers, anywhere from $700 to $1,000 a day. The other thing too, I think is, very important, we're kind of talking about math here. So one day instructor-led course, the suggested retail price, if you will, is $195. That's, $200. Partner cost, depending on what kind of partner you are, is, you're looking from, 50 to 40% margins there. Well, I'm sorry, no, the for instructor-led, back up, Bill. You guys will cut this out, right? So one day instructor-led training is $995, $1,000. Partner cost is anywhere from $140 to $160, right? So incredible margins there, even if you're charging half price. E-learning is $195, $200. The margins there are anywhere from 30 to 40%. And those are standard, right? We love having volume discount conversations. The other thing that we just rolled out over the last week or two is our e-learning, all access, unlimited e-learning subscription. So that gives an individual access to all the courses today and all the courses that are rolled out over the next 365 days. And it's not that everyone's going to go out and do, 15 certifications. That's not really the idea. It's a great play for enterprises because when you go out and you talk to an enterprise, you go, all right, let's take a look at your org chart. You got 50 people, you have 1,000 people. You can make a great case that everyone needs basic literacy, right? So either AI Plus for everyone or our free foundations course, which is a great lead gen, which I'll talk about here in a second. You can also make a great case that in 2026, knowing how to write great prompts is a must-have skill. It's no longer a nice-to-have career skill. So there's 2 courses for every employee. Then the actual role-specific course, AI Plus legal, medical, whatever. So you have that. And then on top of that, for the executives, we have AI Plus executive. We have, ethics, governance. We also have some, specific framework courses that all executives take a look at. So you see, you're starting to tack on a bunch of courses within an enterprise. The easiest thing is, sell them the unlimited e-learning, and then people can choose their own. The other thing too that a partner brought up to us that I was kind of mad I didn't think about myself is having that subscription also allows you to go out and say, you know what? I don't want to go through that whole entire, ethical hacking course, but there's 2 modules in there I would love to go play with. Now you can, because you have the unlimited subscription. So I want to look at 2 modules from this course, 3 modules from that course. You can't go to the website to get the unlimited, e-learning subscription. It is only available through full partners. And then the fourth way to partner with us is an affiliate. I think people, understand kind of, how affiliate programs work. This allows you to resell the e-learning. You get to keep 30% instead of, the traditional 40 or 50%. But we cover the transaction costs, right? So we have people that just sign up to become affiliate, and that's all they do. They want to monetize, send out emails, post, a link in their podcast or their newsletter. And that's great. We also have people who've signed up as an affiliate partner, kind of like test drive. And then a little bit later go, hey, I'm missing out on all this instructor-led training money. So they become full partners. And I've actually had several people do both. They signed up as an authorized training partner and as an affiliate. Why? Because as an affiliate partner, you have instant e-commerce ability. So if all of you have a website, but if you don't have e-commerce ability, you can do that, obviously, and we can integrate into almost any website. We have great documentation. We have an integration team, so we do integrations every day, but you still have to have that e-commerce part. So if you don't want to do that, or you don't want to wait on that, is become an affiliate partner, and then you have instant e-commerce ability while you're getting, your own system set up. So 4 different ways to partner with this. Makes some sense that, sometimes you pick 2 of those. So let's just dive in a little bit more. We're right. The whole thing is, I said earlier, this is set up for you to plug in, what you already have. You already have the people they know you, they trust you, they spent money. This is a way to just go monetize those relationships immediately. You don't have to, think about, go out and curate your own courses or whatever. We provide everything, all the sales and marketing. We provide the training resources. Again, we make money when you do it. So we do a lot of promotions. One of the first things we do when new partners come on is let's get a webinar set up. It's not a one-off deal, right? So the first time we have a webinar, and then maybe a couple of months later, and I do 2 types of webinars. First one is kind of like what I'm doing here. Everyone just has to sit here and listen to me. The other one is what I call a fireside chat. So that it'll be me and then someone from the partner will sit and we'll just have a conversation about AI. And, if they're targeting a specific industry, then, we'll do that. So lots of different ways. Our marketing department, will help, with lead gen. And speaking of lead gen, I mentioned earlier, AI Plus Foundation. So one of the courses we have out of those 73 is AI Plus Foundations. And instead of 6-8 hours e-learning, it's 3-4 hours of e-learning. It's a legit course. It has its own certification, but it's free. And it's free for a couple of reasons. One, it's tremendous lead gen for our partners. You just carpet bomb everybody. I see partners all the time going out on LinkedIn to their audience, letting them know, hey, here's a free course. Let me know if you'd like to sign up. And then people look like, all right, this is great. I want to go now pay for my role specific course. It's also good use for philanthropic ways, which can also come back. So they mentioned at the beginning, I've written and spoke about careers for a long time. One of the things that I have, kind of targeted is people who have been incarcerated, because you think it's tough finding a job today. Now add a gap of 3 years to your resume. So I worked with some national and even a local organization to help get some of their population AI ready. And you know what? Every nonprofit, they all have board members tied to companies, right? So if you use this and you go out and you work with nonprofits in your area, there's going to be board members that see that and go, hey, tell me more about this. And that could be an executive tied to a company with 100 people or 10,000 people. So the AI Plus Foundations is one of the key components to the marketing program. Again, we talked about the different margins, all the different reasons that to work with us. You just focused on selling. We take care of everything else. I mentioned the partner portal. So here's kind of a look inside the partner portal. This is where it serves several purposes. We have a monthly partner meeting, second Tuesday of each month. And so those recordings and that deck will go in the partner portal. So if you missed it, you can go watch it. Or if you just sign up today, you want to look, listen to the meeting from last week, you can do that. All the marketing assets are in there. So I mentioned course outlines, executive summaries, blueprints, all the social media kits that at the very least, you're going to go put the outlines on your website, right? We mentioned we can integrate. So if you want people to sign up directly, we can do that. There's numerous ways that we can work on the integration. If you don't have that, then you go into the partner portal to enroll people. It's very simple. It takes just a couple minutes. On instructor led, you have to do that anyway. So you do that. And so on the right side picture, you would see, hey, I've enrolled, 4870 number of people. These number of people have tried the exam. And then also within there, you can see like, hey, I gave a prospect access to AI Plus Foundations. Did Bob ever sign in? Because you kind of know that. You can go on the partner portal and say, yeah, Bob signed in and he's 50%, through the course. So partner portal is where all the magic really, it's where it begins and where you go to manage your side of the partnership. So basically, what do you got to do here? You decide, that, hey, I want to become a partner, figure out, which type of partner you want to come. But once you sign, kind of how this, should work is you're excited today. You reach out, bill.becker at aicerts.ai. We have a conversation. And after that, there's a follow-up email. Send a blank agreement so you can see exactly what's going on. And then you go, hey, Bill, we're ready to go. Then resend the agreement through DocuSign. Once you're signed, that's where all the fun starts. As you see, on this slide, that, we go to work. You get you onboarded. We start the sales and marketing processes. I talk to, sales teams every week. I love to go on calls with partners, salespeople. I will talk as much or as little as requested. So again, we make it almost impossible for you not to succeed here. So, okay, in the end, kind of a little summary, big takeaway. We are not training on AI. We are training on AI impacts specific job roles with a certification. No one else in the world has that. Whether it's enterprise or academia, associations, we can help with all that. Again, if you're going to do this yourself, you're like, oh, I got to keep everything updated. We take care of that for you. And then we are worldwide, right? We have partners around the world. We have employees around the world. So we can help support whatever initiative you have. And in the end, it's hard to beat the stack that we have. We got the course. We got the exams. We have the marketing machine behind that. Why would you not become a partner? So that's it. I don't know if we have any questions. Hopefully I didn't put everyone to sleep, but I would love to talk to you. At the very least, we should have a conversation and share my ideas of how I think we could work together with your specific organization. And with that, I will see if we have any questions.
Thank you, Bill. Those were some really powerful insights there, I would say. For the audience, a quick reminder, please, if you have any questions about enterprise sales cycles, certification-led training programs, or anything, please feel free to drop in the chat box. Meanwhile, Bill, we do have two questions. I'll just quickly take them up. The
Okay.
first, yeah, the first question we have is, are there any restriction of industry or geography for the ATPs in delivering online or ILT trainings?
Nope. It doesn't matter where you're located. The world is yours. And we do that every day that, someone's based in Italy sells into North America. People in North America sell into Asia Pacific. So the entire world is a target rich environment for you.
Okay, great. The next question that we have is if you could just repeat on the pricing part.
Yeah, so sorry about that. So, and I'll talk about, the 1 day. And if we talk later, we can go into the 5 days. So 1 day, instructor-led version, the suggested retail price, $995, $1,000. You can charge whatever you want, right? We cannot tell people what to charge. Your cost is anywhere from $140 to $160. So incredible margin with instructor-led training, right? E-learning is $195, $200. The cost is your margin is 30 to 40% there. And again, those are before any quantity discounts. If you come to, hey, Bill, I got 200 people at Acme Corporation. We're going to, help you get a better margin there. And I'll do 5 day real quick. So 5 day courses, instructor led is $39.95, $4,000, kind of traditional IT training, right? Employee cost or partner cost is $495, $500. So again, amazing margins there. And again, on affiliates that you're selling e-learning and you get 30% of whatever the revenue was, whether it was 195 or so yeah. Associations, academia, there's a tweak to that, but those are gives you a really good idea of the margins. And again, you're not selling one course to a person in a company. You have the entire organization workforce that needs to be AI ready. So you have basic AI literacy, you have how to write good prompts, and then you have the role specific courses. So lots of opportunities to have some really nice sales on your end. We in the past we've had partners that sold into a healthcare system, right? And they had a systems admin attend a 5 day class or whatever. Now we're seeing partners do 5 figures because the entire healthcare system is getting AI ready. Those are the exciting things that can happen.
Absolutely, Bill. The next question we have is, are the certifications recognized nationally?
They are. So I mentioned that we follow international ISO standards in designing and building the course. So, and you will see throughout LinkedIn, after you pass the exam, you have a badge that we see people share all over LinkedIn. And then also there's a couple other things that are going on. For those that are familiar with the Project Management Institute, they do recognize our courses for PDUs. There's a ton of paperwork there that you have to do that, but they do recognize that. And then I mentioned sometime in March we'll have final blessing from ANAB ANSI, which is an international accreditation association.
Great. Thank you, Bill. Thank you for sharing such practical and forward-looking insights today. And I would like to thank our audience for joining us and for those thoughtful questions. If in case you guys have any more questions or doubts regarding our programs, you have all the contact information in the chat box provided. Please feel free to reach out to us. Otherwise, obviously, we'll be reaching out to you, all of you, shortly. As mentioned earlier, the recording of this session will be shared with you via email, and also your participation certificates are waiting for you. So you'll be receiving them as soon as you'll be completing the session. Thank you once again. And if you'd like to explore partnership opportunities or learn more about AI Certs programs, please feel free to reach out to the team, or you may connect with Bill directly. Thank you once again, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks. Thank you so much. Everyone take care.